I want to start the second hour, though, with a little hardwood.
Little hoops?
Well, the Blazers beat the Jazz, and the
They
Jazz
did?
are not very good, so I get it.
Hey, I think 3 in a row deserves it. You get 3 in a row, you deserve
5
it.
of 6 deserves
5 of 6 deserves it. It's been a while.
Yeah, on this show it has.
It kind of faded.
Hit 19 threes. You get this.
Most of the wins have come since we went off the air.
Talk about cucumbers. Swag had a big one last night watching Klingen.
Yeah, he did.
He got a little excited. In the Swag condo.
Can I tell you who else had a big cucumber for Klingen?
He was feeling good.
My wife.
Whoa. Excuse me?
So before the game, I don't know if you guys turned on the pregame, but they showed Klingen mic'd up, and it was just like a montage of him through like 4 or 5 different games, and between yelling weak and strong to help his guys on screens, he's also like making funny commentary. Hey, what size shoe you wear? I'm 18. Just being a goofball 20-year-old.
He seems a bit of a goofball.
He seems like he enjoys his life. He's a millionaire athlete, right?
If you're born 7 foot, you should enjoy your life.
Well, when you played that long for Dan Hurley, you've heard some stuff on the sidelines during the game.
You're a little more free in your life is what I would think. Right?
I don't got to play for that guy anymore? This is great, dude.
But my wife, I don't even know if she finds him attractive in any way. She more just was like, oh, he seems great. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, he's a fun, goofy kid. He's playing good basketball right now, and he's starting to hit the 3 ball. So
easy guy to root for.
They end up running away from the Utah Jazz. Jazz have some okay talent. Nurk got off to a nice little hot start. I'm like, oh, revenge game?
No.
Defense not high on their priority list.
No, it's not. They can score, but they cannot defend. They're not a good team, okay? But the point is more to say they won 5 of 6, our Trailblazers.
Yes.
And I was going through some numbers, and stop me if you've heard this. Deni Avdija's having a good year.
What? No. Are you sure? Does he have a good contract?
So you're going to have to root for the world team at the All-Star game?
Well, I was
That's
watching.
a funny question I haven't even thought about yet.
I don't really care about the All-Star game, so I'll root for Denny.
I forgot we're doing USA versus the world.
It's going to be so stupid. Nobody's going to watch.
Can we just do East versus West?
Well, I was watching the NBA TV before the Blazer game started, and it was the association show, which goes around the association, and in between they do their studio stuff, and it was Danny Green, Rudy Gay, and our guy Steven Nelson.
Our guy Steven Nelson's on NBA TV now.
It's the offseason in baseball. Got to make some do-re-mi.
Pick up another gig, all right.
And they're going through Danny Green's list of something, and you know who the first player he listed was? It was Deni Avdija. And he goes, he's having a great season. He needs to be considered for All-NBA. He's going to be an all-star. He goes, they're playing great basketball this year. And I went, well, they're 16 and 20 going in, but okay, I get your point. But he's getting more recognition. I might be blasphemous here, all right? But I was just thinking about this, watching that game and a little this morning. So all his numbers, he's 99th percentile in points per possession. He's 100 percentile in effective field goal percentage. He's 93 percentile in the turnover percentage, which is a good thing. You want him to be in that category. We know what his impact is. He's a plus 30 win expectancy, right? He's having this stellar season. Is he not doing... God, this is going to feel really weird to say out loud.
Do it.
Well, they're not having the win-loss results yet.
No.
But is he not doing what we all projected and thought Brandon Roy would be doing?
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent.
It's not the same kind of game. It's
not
different.
the same.
It's aggressive. It's a go to the cup, get the free throws.
Roy felt a little more back to the basket.
Not
a little
silky
more
smoothish as Roy, right, with the handle. But, dude, for everything we thought about Brandon Roy, and I think all those feelings are valid, this dude's delivering in the same way. He's kind of our point forward since we don't really have a point guard right now.
Don't have a point guard.
Driving the boat, dude.
He's getting you triple doubles every night.
Yeah.
I went and looked at Roy's numbers to have a refresher, right? And I love me some Brandon Roy. He's one of my all-time favorites.
And the game's evolved a little bit since then.
What do you think his numbers were on an on-game and an in-game, like, per-game basis? Let's just go to his, like, third year, 08-09.
What, like, points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game?
Just a standard points, rebounds, assists.
23, 5, and 4?
I don't know if he was averaging 20 yet a game.
23, 5, and 4 is dead on.
Is it dead on?
You nailed it.
Yeah.
It's 22.6, 4.7, so you could round to 5 if you want, and 5 assists.
So 5 and 5.
What's Deni averaging right now?
What's he, 27, 7 and 7?
Now, I think
Is that
some
what
of
it
this...
I think it's 8 and 7.
Yeah. So, to be fair, some of this, I think the numbers, Not inflated in a negative way to say
The
this.
rebounds and assist numbers are inflated simply
because of the way a game is played now.
the game is played
It's
faster, and there's a
faster.
lot more shots.
Yes,
both
100%.
made and missed.
And that leads to points per game, too, because you're getting more possessions.
And you're shooting more threes. Roy would have shot more threes.
Yes.
The way the game is
but
played now.
He's just, and I'm not even, look, you can take this and also say, are you saying he's like a solid superstar one, Sprague? Fair rebuttal. I'm not there. But I'm just saying from a number standpoint, he is doing exactly what we thought the natural was going to continue to do had he stay healthy.
Yeah.
And obviously he's the reason that they're even in a 17-20 situation.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, without him this year, this season would have crumbled 2 months ago and they would have been done. I think that also adds to the impressive nature of what he's doing, considering that some of the key guys he was supposed to be playing with are no longer healthy. And, you hope at some point guys are back, and at some point they will be. But that makes it even more impressive that he's had kind of a ragtag group of players out there with him, and he's still putting up the numbers, some of the best numbers we've ever seen in the history of the organization, which is just wild. It's a feather in the cap of Joe Cronin, who's had some big hits and some big misses. Easily the best move that he has ever made.
It's not even close. This is the biggest one he can hang his hat on.
I just have gotten to the point where, and this is unfair to him, but I feel like we do this with a lot of great players across different sports, where it's like when it's a expected thing at this point, it almost gets tiring to talk about because it's just, I expect him to be good every night. He's been at that level all year. The exciting thing for me in the last couple of games has been, and I think you can go back a little bit further with one of the players, and I know he wasn't very good on the road in San Antonio whenever that was, Friday or Saturday, but Shaedon Sharpe in the 20-ish game stretch that he's now put together and kind of coming into his own and being handed more of a responsibility. He was great last night, especially early in the game.
Spurs game was his dud.
He had an absolute dud against San Antonio, but everybody's going to have duds, right? Even Deni has a game where you're like, hey, that was 9 points. What the hell happened there? So everybody's going to have a down game. But I go back to, I saw our buddy Gunderson tweeting last night about him, and I think it's so spot on.
He texted me something interesting about that last night.
Well, it's just like a guy who has never been put in certain situations early in his career, and that's one of the biggest frustrations I've had with the organization the last couple of years of here's your top 10 pick, let's hand him more responsibility, get Anthony Simons out of here. Let's give those possessions and looks to Shaedon Sharpe. And you're seeing a guy that I think at this point in the year is starting to grow in confidence. His three-point percentage has slowly ticked up as the year has gone on. It's not, he's not in a three-point contest.
He's never going to be an elite three shooter.
No, but he's getting to the point where there's enough of a sample size to say, okay, could you be passable there? It's not 22% anymore. And so that's a growing trend. And then the other one is, Donovan Clingan having multiple games in a row now where he's becoming an impact player on the offensive end. I mentioned this yesterday on the show. When they drafted him, one of the selling points that they used in that draft pick, not that it was controversial because that draft sucked and it was like, yeah, what the hell, take the guy out of UConn, was that they felt like he could develop an offensive game. Even though he showed very little of that at UConn. A little back to the basket, dunks here or there. That was it. He never shot. But when they drafted him, they said, we like his touch, we like his ability to shoot, and we think that's something that he could develop into. And now here we go again last night, knocking down a couple of threes. And it adds another dynamic to his game where it's not just rebounds and blocking a shot here or there. I can space the floor. If you leave me open, I'm going to make you pay. So Deni deserves his flowers. We could come in and do a segment literally every day after a game and say, oh my God, he's incredible. It almost becomes the repeated segment over and over and over again.
Sure.
The fact that some of the younger guys are now starting to show a sample size of good play where you're like, all right, hey, you gave Shaedon an extension this offseason. That was risky because he didn't have to do that. And he's coming into his own after a really rough start to his year.
Well, yeah, Gundy had texted me and was like, Shaedon Sharpe right now has 50 steals. What's one reason we hear from people why he can't play more?
Defense.
He's ass. He has 50 steals. Anthony Simons has only had one season of 50 steals.
I mean, Anthony Simons...
He's averaging 13, 2, and 2 in Boston.
Yeah, what is happening in Boston tells you all you need to know.
He doesn't play in crunch time. He's not a go-to player. He had a nice little game for himself last night, but it's largely not been...
He's not better than Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah. And so,
if I would have floated the idea of trading Simons for Peyton Pritchard 3 years ago, people would have laughed at me.
The long-time argument was Ant plays because he's a good bucket getter, which, okay, in Portland he was. But, last night, Shaedon gave you 29 and 7. I thought that was the biggest number. The steals number is great. At least he's being active on defense. Steals isn't always an indicator of good one-on-one defense. It's that you're just being active, right? And you're picking the ball up sometimes. His biggest number for me last night wasn't even shooting. It was 7.
7 assists.
Because he has such an athletic ability to pump and drive that, when you see Deni get assists, it's largely from drive kick, right? It's find guys in corners, hit him on the wing. Shaedon has the same ability. I just would like to see him be a little more consistent with it. If he can do that, that's the step. if he can become a 5-6 assists a night guy, like talk about a huge win for them on top of what he's doing with the shooting splits. So
and a little bit better defensively than maybe we gave him credit for.
well, yeah,
Showing a little more effort at least on that end of
he's
the
at
floor.
least active. He still has his boneheaded moments where he falls asleep and the guy back cuts and gets an easy layup. That happened early in the game, but I just like that he's active defensively. He seems engaged. He's been given more of a chance here with minutes and whatnot. So
bigger role now.
Yeah, so Denny's awesome. Donovan's shooting better. Shaden is shooting a little better, and I like what I'm seeing from them. Tamani's been
He's
fine
been solid,
too.
Yeah, he's got his groove going a little bit after a slow start. The numbers, by the way, on Sharp, I'm with you on the 7 assists last night. He also pulled in 5 rebounds, so you just love to see the impact.
Yeah, 29, 5, and 7 is a dream box score.
That's a great night. He's knocking down shots. He's helping the game, playing defense. Loved everything about it. In the month of December, you ballpark your games. Well, they probably played 15 games or so in the month of December, maybe a little bit less than that. Shaden Sharp shot 44% from 3.
It's great.
In the month.
That's great.
So that's not, I think we got to that point where it's like, all right, hey, he had a good game. All right, it was another good game. But you don't want to go over your skis after 2 good games and say, all right, now all of a sudden he's shooting the ball great because in the month of November, he was 24% from 3.
Yeah,
that's a massive jump. It's going to even out. He's not going to shoot 44% every month. There's going to be ebb and flow there. But the fact that now there's a bigger sample size there is something to be actually excited about.
Back-to-back Houston Rocket games. Talk about exciting. Houston got a walk-off win last night with KD over Phoenix.
KD hit the game winner.
And we have an ability to just play really hard against really good teams. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do against Houston tomorrow at home. And then I believe it's Thursday, right? They go to Houston, so it's Friday. That's right. They get no.
I think they're both at
no.
home.
It's
a double up.
The schedule makes it look like it's a home and home.
Let me see here. Hold on.
I apologize if you're right. Then I'll give you
the first game is they are both at home.
Okay.
Wednesday night and Friday night.
Is your ESPN flipped? Because mine got flipped on my phone.
I just pulled up their schedule on my computer. It just says Houston,
Because it says Houston top, Blazers bottom, and then the next game it says Blazers,
kind of in a
Houston.
game.
So I'm like,
you're
they're
looking
going
that way.
back and forth.
ESPN does that from time
Good to
to
know
time.
it's a home.
I will not be watching Friday night's game, but I will watch Wednesday night's game.
Why won't you watch Friday?
No, they're both here.
Yeah, they're both in Portland.
We confirm that.
Yeah,
You're right.
It's confirmed.
All right.
Oracle's right. Would you back off him? God.
Would you shut up? I got a break.
Jesus.
Then the crappy Knicks come in on the weekend.
Oh, we're okay.
They're now crappy.
We're cocky sniffing now.
Should we be excited to be having the Knicks in town for a turnaround? Is that what you're telling me? This is what we need? Hey, you know what happens if you win all 3 of those games? You are 500.
That's right.
How about that? The Warriors are
you're only
sinking
2
like a
games behind
stone,
the Warriors
too.
for
The
8.
Warriors are just not wanting to
That's
play
your next game
basketball.
after New York. You're down back in the Bay.
And we own them right now.
We are their daddy.
Oh,
That's
my
your
God.
that's your
people would
late
say.
NBC 8 p.m. next Tuesday.
I can't believe like 4 days ago you just poo-pooed this team. You're such an idiot.
Who would have possibly done that? Not me. Not Blazer fan dirt. I would never do that.